Yeah, what's poppin' guys, Sizzle here, and today we're taking a look at all the Rein skins in Overwatch to figure out what the best one is. So first off, we have Overwatch 1 Rein. I mean, they nailed the design the first time through. Crusader Knight is Crusader Knight. It's really fucking good. This is definitely one of his better skins. Also has a very nice looking hammer. Let me actually get rid of my cult gun. It's kind of annoying having to dequip this all the time. But, default hammer looks absolutely amazing. Overwatch 1 Rein is amazing. That's really all there is to say about it. It's a solid high B tier. Very high B tier. The only reason it's not A or S is because there's so many good Rein skins. Then we have Overwatch 2 Rein, which I personally like less. I like the Helmeted Crusader more. The hammer is pretty dope though, but I will say Overwatch 1 Rein does just beat Overwatch 2 Rein 99% of the time. I'm going to put in C tier. Then we have Baldreich Rein, and I mean, he's got a goofy looking hammer, but outside of that, the skin's just kind of bland and kind of whatever. I feel like there's better alternatives to this one personally. So for me, this is like a D tier. Then we have Blackheart, uses the axe on Rein. I personally used to love the axes, but as I've played more and more Rein, I've become more and more in love with the hammers. And as someone who now doesn't really like the hammers as much, I don't really like the skin as much as I used to. That being said, you can still see like his molten core in the middle or whatever, and the Black Knight is pretty fucking dope. So I'm gonna have to put this at high C. Kind of taken down a lot by the fact that it uses an axe. Bloodheart, on the other hand, has no real excuse. This skin is outclassed by many other red Reinhardt skins. It's just F tier. And we have Crusader Rein, and this is Overwatch 2 Rein, but like younger and honestly way worse looking. It has like more detail added to it, which actually makes the skin worse, and the hammer is like beyond goofy. I don't really ever see myself using this one, I'll be real, it's just outclassed by Overwatch 2 default. So, F tier. Then we have Griefhardt. This one is pretty sick. I mean, it's like overgrown Rein. Goes with the map icon wall and stuff perfectly. This skin is pretty dope. I'll give it very much credit. Put it at a high B. Then we have Reinhardt. This is a mix of Overwatch 1 Rein, Overwatch 2 Rein, and obviously just kind of its own design in terms of being like a golden Rein skin. It's alright, but honestly, there are better golden Rein skins out there. It's just okay. I'll put it in like C tier in the middle. Then we have Stonehardt. This one's pretty dope. It's like a stone gargoyle type Rein. It's got some, it's almost like he's a castle, actually. That's what it's more like. I mean, it has like gargoyle features, don't get me wrong, but the red cape and everything, just the general design of this makes me think of like a castle. And I think that's pretty dope. I'll put it in like low B. Then we have REINAHARDT. I used this one for a while as well. I like the trophy hammer. I think it's fucking sick. And obviously, football Rein is just amazing. I mean, when you're pinning people, it's like you're scoring a touchdown every time. I'd say it's an A tier skin. Then we have Conductor Rein, and he's a very interesting case. I think the actual design of the skin and all that, it's alright. I think realistically, if it was just the skin on its own, I'd say probably B tier, right? The hammer is actually dope. I will say Rein helmet as a hammer is fucking sick. But the skin itself is just kind of whatever. But this one has custom sound effects. When you pin, it makes a train noise, and that's really fucking cool. So like, that boosts it way up there for me, and for a lot of Rein players, to the point that this is a high A. It's almost S tier, but I personally like some skins more. Then we have Guan Yu Rein. If you're purely focused on screen space, this little like spear thing does take up the least amount of space on Rein. But it just doesn't feel satisfying to hit people with this little spear thing. Like in the way Rein swings his hammer and stuff, it feels wrong. I don't know. For me, the spear is just a detriment to the skin. The skin itself looks fucking amazing. This is like, Mongolian warlord Rein. Even has like a lazy eye, which I think is kind of in character. The spear obviously fits the skin and like the time period and all that. And if you can get over how it feels to use, that's great for you. And this is probably either an A or S tier skin for you guys. But for me, as a Rein player who plays Rein a lot, it feels so bad to use. It's D tier for me. Then we have Wu Jing. The Saboon Rein. I like this one. I don't really know why. I really do like the base skin. It's like a robotic monk warrior Ryan. Right? It just feels strong to use. I really like the spoon too. It feels good to use in game. This was the skin I actually used to climb on Rein with initially back at the start of the game. I really do like it quite a lot. I think it is a sick fucking skin. Would I put it in S tier though is the question. And you'll see the answer when I can actually find the skin on my screen. Because I am struggling. There it is. The answer is yes. I like the mask. The mask is fucking sick. The little like ball necklace thing is sick. I like the custom hammer that actually kind of works is pretty cool. It's a very unique skin, and I think it works amazing with Rein. Then we have Demon Lord Rein. When I said there's a better red skin for Rein, this is what I meant. I mean, it's pretty dope. The hammer on it's really cool. But the skin itself is also pretty cool. You got like, Demon Lord wings, the Demon Lord like face, horns, and like still Rein's beard. The kind of cracked red muscles in the middle, and a lot of just kind of demonic features. I will say it's not my favorite skin for Rein in the game, but it is definitely up there. I'd say it's like a low A. It really fits Rein well, and they did a good job with it. I think they could have went a bit crazier with it and made it more animated. Have like the thunder things on his chest maybe animate in some way, give him a more demonic aura. And I think because of that, it's why it's a low A and not high A or even an S. Then we have Bundesschatz Rein, which I've used this in some accounts because it's kind of goofy. But that's really it. It's just kind of a goofy skin. I don't really think it looks particularly great. But with Rein, honestly, the camo skin doesn't go completely awful. I will say I think it's better than default Overwatch 2 Rein, but only barely. Then we have Paragon Rein. A lot of Rein players love this skin. I can kind of see why. I mean, the white and gold go together beautifully. And it's Overwatch 1 Rein's peak design. I will say Paragon, for me personally, is a very solid high A tier. I don't believe it belongs in S. Then we have Bundesschatz? Bundesschatz. I don't know how you say this one. Bundesadler. This one was specifically a 2019 Summer Games skin. I never really used it in Overwatch 1, but in Overwatch 2, I've come to really like this skin. I just like the colors on it. I mean, it's literally just like a recolored stock Rein, where he's darker, but also has like a nice red and yellow coloring. And I just love how this looks. I mean, there's a reason this is my currently equipped skin. Definitely an S tier for me. Then we have Coldhardt. He's got that like cool, ghostly head thing going on. Outside of that, it's just a decent skin. But I mean, that's all you really need, right? I think it's pretty dope. I think if Reinhardt still had his helmet on and had this ghostly effect, it'd be a way better skin. But I think like this, it's a solid high B tier for me. Then we have Festive Rein. This is another golden Rein skin. It's just kind of goofy though. Something looks off about it. It kind of feels off to use a lot of the time. It is better than most of the other gold skins for Rein, unfortunately, but it's really not that great looking. I'll put it at low C. Then we have Lieutenant Wilhelm Rein, which is like the Overwatch story version of him, where he's got like a blue everything, like a blue Overwatch suit and hammer and stuff. This one's alright. I don't think it's too crazy. I'm gonna put it in like low D. There's a lot of like blue-ish Rein skins that are just better. Then we have Brass Rein, and this is like a gold-ish version of Overwatch 1 Rein. I think it's actually worse than the original though. I like Silver Rein better, but it's still a solid B tier. Then we have Cobalt Rein, which is a blue version of stock Rein, and I think this one goes hard as fuck and is definitely a mid A tier. Then we have Copper Rein, which is just infinitely worse default Rein. This one's an F tier. Then we have Viridian Rein, which is a slightly green. I wish it was more green, but it's a slightly green version of Overwatch 1 Rein. This one's probably mid C. And all of those are based on purely how I think the color fits the skin. Then we have Draugr Rein. This one's pretty cool. It's like a what's the thing? Gassed? Goal? I think goal is the word I'm looking for. Goal Rein, where he's like undead warrior. Came straight back from like the Viking age with his little Viking shield and stuff, with a bunch of arrows in his shields and stuff from all the battles he's fought. The purple skin to kind of show he's undead, and then obviously like the undead face. This one is very, very solid. I'd say probably a high A tier. Then we have Steelheart. This one's pretty dope. Looks pretty cool. It's unfortunately an axe skin, but of all the axe skins, this one definitely looks the best. If you are going to use axe Rein, I think this is the skin you should do it with. It just looks way too good. I'm going to put it at high B. I just don't like the axe. That's the only reason it's high B. If I personally like the axe, I say this is an S tier skin. Then we have Reinhardt, and this one's very unique. You have like a interesting hammer with little 3 boosters instead of 1, but outside that looks almost like stock. And then the skin is like Space Rein with a bunch of padding and armor and stuff. I actually kind of like the look of it. I think it's kind of unique and ends up looking pretty cool. For me, this is a high A tier skin. And then the moment I personally have been waiting for, Hardboard Rein, I think is probably the peak of Rein skins. I don't know what it is about this skin, but I just love it. I don't know, the way the cardboard kind of like moves around when you like move with the skin, the hammer just being a cardboard hammer with like, you know, solo cups with fire coming out of them, all the tape and stuff holding it together. The fact that there's like a little bit of custom voice lines and stuff. I mean, they're not really anything crazy, but they did add some like little, you know, cardboard crunchy sound effects, like you walking and stuff, which I think is cool. But also just the skin itself. I don't know what it is about this skin. I just love it. I know a lot of Rein players who love this skin. The only reason I am not using this skin is because it is $20. And I'm really having a hard time convincing myself to spend $20 on Overwatch after they got rid of Copa Lucia Ball. But I'm still torn on buying this skin whenever it shows up in the shop. This is one of the hardest decisions not to buy every time I see it. It's such a fucking good skin, man. I wish it was Overwatch 2 $20 skin. It is like peak Reinhardt. This is definitely one of my favorite skins in all of Overwatch. And also, I didn't mention the fan in the back with a little fire drawn on and stuff. I don't know, man. Cardboard Rein is peak. Then there's Minotaur Rein. It's got a pretty cool hammer, and the skin itself is alright. It's okay. I'd say it's probably a low A tier. And then the last one is Prideful Rein. This is another Overwatch 2 skin I've thought about buying. It's got a really nice looking hammer, and then the skin itself looks pretty fucking dope. The lion from Rein's shield is actually his face now, and then the color scheme of like white and green and stuff is pretty cool. There are also Overwatch League variants of this in many other colors, but I think this is one of the better colors of it. That being said, the skin itself, probably a mid-A tier. Probably above Cobalt, I'd say. And yeah, that's my thoughts on all the Rein skins in the game. I know I made some really controversial takes here. Other Rein players are probably completely disagree with me, but this is my personal takes. You know, leave your personal takes in the comments. I was gonna say in the description. I don't know why I would say that. With that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed looking at these skins as much as I did, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.